In we are live. Welcome everybody for this weekly live stream on the latest and greatest news in Ethereum and DeFi. Say hi in the chat. Hi, thanks like this. Hi Eric, hi Nestor, hi everybody. So for those who don't know me, I'm Julian, your host, and you are on my channel Eat the Blocks, where I teach blockchain development, DeFi, and how to find your first blockchain job. And before we continue, quick shout out to my two courses. So if you want to become a professional blockchain developer and make 100k a year, check out my course, 6-figure blockchain developer. And if you want to learn how to make profitable flash loan, check my other course. Okay, so I will talk first and we'll do the Q&A at the end as usual. Hi everybody in the chat, Crypto Baroque, Johnny, Eric. Great to have you here. So we'll start with the price of Ethereum. So after the crypto crash of last week, we had kind of a rebound, like a timid rebound, but at the same time the stock market was flat or kept going down, so crypto market is doing better, so it's not so bad. So yeah, nothing too special here. For the gas fees, so the situation kind of improved compared to the week before. So the week before it was crazy, went up to 500 GUI. Now it seems like we have a sort of new plateau at 100 GUI. So it's kind of a high plateau, but it's slightly better. Not great, but slightly better. So next, so the situation for the market cap of the whole DeFi market. So there is a nice rebound. It's almost vertical on the chart. How is it possible? So at 8.51 billion, that's about 600 million more than 1 week ago. However, if you change to ETH, you can see that the story is very different. So actually, I don't know why that is the case. So maybe that there was a lot of locked value that was transferred from Ether to other assets in Ethereum. I'm not too sure. In terms of the protocol, so Aave went back to the first place. Uniswap went down a lot and back up, and that's because of the Sushiswap story, and I'll explain this after. And in terms of the situation for the tokens, so for YFI, we had a crazy jump. So YFI went to 40k, but 1 week before that, then it crashed and it came back to 40k. So I mean, some really nice gain to make here. Also, we have a nice progression with Nexus Mutual and also Loopring. Where are you, Loopring? Yeah, Loopring, which is a layer 2 scaling solution. It's very possible that you'll have a lot of partnership between some DeFi protocol and Loopring. So I'm not surprised to see Loopring going up, and I think it has much more potential. And there was also the Cream protocol that went up a lot, but it also went down. So Cream, that's a fork of Compound. That's part of the whole DeFi food things. Okay, so that's it for the big gain on DeFi tokens. So next, very important, there was an announcement of Coinbase that they're gonna start listing YFI on Monday, September 14, well, which is today. So of course there's going to be a major help for the YFI token. We already some of that. So yeah, I mean, that might be the big reason why it went up so much. Every time you have a big exchange that lists a DeFi token, boom, that's an instant boost. That's amazing. All right. So next, what's the situation for the rates? So situation for the rates is pretty crazy. If you have a look at DAI here, it's like 40% on Aave, USDC 85% on Fulcrum, ETH 56% on Fulcrum. Really insane. I don't know why rates are so crazy on Fulcrum, but there is one thing you need to keep in mind when you see like crazy rates like this. Okay, it looks really attractive, but in order for you to actually have this rate of return, it's not going to happen, because this is a daily rate, but it's going to fluctuate a lot over 1 year. So you'll get the average of the daily rate for all these days. So it looks attractive, but keep in mind this is not a stable rate. Yeah, so I mean, this is always interesting to keep in mind the rates. You know, like everybody is obsessed by the price of tokens, but actually with rates, you can make really nice return also without really speculating on anything. So yeah, so that's cool. Next, we gonna focus on the main piece of news for this week: Sushiswap, the whole DeFi food thing. So for those who haven't followed, Sushiswap is a fork of the Uniswap protocol. So it works exactly like Uniswap, except it has a governance token that pays liquidity providers. So in order to be bootstrapped, it needs liquidity. So Sushiswap came up with a new idea to get this liquidity that's called a vampire attack, where they drain the liquidity of Uniswap. So how are they going to do this? Step 1, they're going to attract the Uniswap liquidity provider tokens by exchanging them against Sushi tokens. So Sushi token, they are the governance token of the Sushiswap system. So they're going to exchange this Uniswap LP token against Sushi tokens and Sushiswap LP token. So that's exactly like Uniswap LP token, but on Uniswap. And all of this happened on the Sushiswap migration contract. So a lot of liquidity provider on Uniswap, they are sitting here with their LP token from Uniswap and they're like, yeah, why not? I will have exactly the same thing plus Sushi token, so why not? So they send all their LP token to Sushi migrator and they get and that's the step 1 of the whole vampire attack. Step 2, once Sushiswap has attracted enough LP token from Uniswap, it will do the migration. So how it's going to do this is going to exchange this Uniswap LP token against the underlying token stored in Uniswap. And after it's going to move these underlying tokens to the Sushiswap exchange contract. So now you see the liquidity on Uniswap dropping and the liquidity on Sushiswap going to the roof. So that's the when they do the migration. And step 3, well, let's the fun begin. So now Sushiswap LP token holders can withdraw their LP tokens against the underlying token they initially invested on Uniswap, so they didn't lose anything. And in bonus, they also have their Sushi governance tokens. And traders can also trade on Uniswap. And anybody who has some Sushi tokens on top of it get also trading fee from Sushiswap. So you can see here, yeah, so that's that's a tweet of Camila Russo when the vampire attack was starting. So they were able to drain 80 million of Uniswap LP token. That was 55% of Uniswap liquidity. So here on this chart, like you can see, that was pretty insane. So this vampire attack went quite well, but some LP token of Sushiswap, after they got their Sushi tokens back, they sold their Sushi token, they removed their liquidity from Uniswap, and they went back to Uniswap. And I think that that's what we're going to see a lot for any other fork of Uniswap. People are going to take their food token, they're going to sell it, and they're going to return to Uniswap because deep down they know that Uniswap is the real deal, and all these copy paste, like, they aren't so serious. So that's the global explanation of how they were able to steal liquidity from Uniswap. But that's only one part of the news, because the other big part of the news is that Chef Nomi, which is one of the anonymous developer of Sushiswap, so Chef Nomi, he announced that so I need to give a bit of background here. So before, he announced that he was walking away from the project with all the developer funds, which was about $14 million. So this caused the price of the Sushi token to collapse. Crypto Twitter became super angry, and it seems like Chef Nomi had some regrets and decided to give back the 14 millions. So was it all planned in advance? Was it some sort of complex market manipulation scheme where Chef Nomi profits in another way? We can't say for sure. But what I can say is that I don't really like the character of Nomi because last month on Twitter, Nomi tried to do some virtue signaling by suggesting that his philosophy for building project was more altruistic than Hayden Adams, the creator of Uniswap, since Nomi rewards liquidity provider of the protocol and not the creator. But in the meantime, he also tried to steal $40 million. So Hayden Adams might never make a move. Like Hayden Adams might never make an amount like this, 40 million, even in a few years, even after having worked much more than Nomi So that's why I think that Nomi is really full of shit when you try to pretend to be a white knight on Twitter and after you work with 40 million. Like what matters is not what you say on Twitter, but what matters is what you do. So let's keep this in mind. So Nomi is not the only developer of Sushiswap. There is another anonymous developer called 0x Maki. So to have a better opinion of the whole team, I also listened to a podcast interview of this 0x Maki. And I was really not convinced by the guy. He seemed to be way too forgiving for the behavior of the other I'm getting trouble saying that, Sushiswap developer, Chef Nomi. He also said that in the future, it might become very usual to have a new DeFi project launched by anonymous developer and that they will learn from the mistake of Sushiswap. But for example, by locking the developer funds with the multisig. But it doesn't solve any problem to use a multisig because you can create as many Ethereum addresses as you want, create multiple Twitter accounts and pretend to be several person when really you are just one person, and that's very easy to do. So the core problem is, why are these guys anonymous? They don't take any responsibility. This is like a video game for them. In the real life, if you make some mistakes, you need to face the consequences of what you did. That means being a mature person. So anyway, enough of my rant here. I just wanted to say that I don't give much credit to projects started anonymously, with maybe a few exceptions. For example, if you are really creating something very powerful and you set it up in a way where you can't really benefit from it. For example, the creators of Monero who didn't do any pre-mine. But in most cases, especially in DeFi, I'm really not too bullish for DeFi project with anonymous developer. So that's it for the big Sushiswap drama. So next, the other big news of the week is maybe the next big DeFi project. So StableCredit is a new project that was announced by Cronje, the creator of Yearn protocol. So StableCredit might be an alternative to MakerDAO. So it combines several things: lending, borrowing, stablecoin, and automated market maker. So when I first read that, I was like, wow, like seems super complex. But the basic idea is that you can deposit almost any tokens, and in exchange you get a line of credit in a stablecoin. So that it's a sort of like mix between Compound and MakerDAO basically. So this is still in development. I'm not really sure if it's going to replace MakerDAO. MakerDAO moves much more slowly because they have a much bigger team. They are much more conservative. That's two different philosophy. I think we need both. So yeah, it's really too soon to say. I mean, we'll see how this project goes. And I'm noticing that Cronje is really shipping like crazy. Like last week, he released another thing that was Y Vault, and I'm wondering if he's becoming a little bit too scattered, because as far as I know, he's a single developer. So shipping is one thing, but after you need to maintain. While he's developing StableCredit, he still receive some support requests from this other protocol, from Yearn Finance, maybe some bug reports, some stuff like this. So I think I hope he's going to start to work with other people, because otherwise I'm afraid this guy is going to burn out. Yeah, so that's what I have to say about this new project. So next, here on Twitter, so there is a rant of Brian Armstrong, who is the CEO of Coinbase. So Brian complained that Apple censored the app of Coinbase on the App Store because it gives access to some DeFi app. So I'm really surprised because there are already other DeFi apps on the App Store like Agent, Dama, etc. This is really not the first app that does DeFi. So maybe Apple target them because they are bigger, maybe they represent some threat, I don't know. But to give you the bigger context, there was a more general uproar against Apple censorship and its dominant position on the App Store. Recently on Twitter, a lot of people were angry about this. So let's not forget that the US government is starting an antitrust procedure against Google. So people, I believe, want to leverage the current political climate to also put some pressure on Apple. So this is a fair game. I'm all for like freedom and capitalism and let companies grow. But at a certain point where their monopoly becomes so powerful, I think it's also the role of government to act so that competition is not totally stifled. So that's fair game, and I think that Apple is going to do the smart move here and just stop bothering Coinbase. Okay, so next news, the IRS is offering a huge bounty of $625,000 for anyone who can break Monero anonymous feature. So if you never heard of Monero, that's a privacy-focused cryptocurrency. It's basically like Bitcoin, but with untraceable transaction. It's impossible for some analysis tool to tell where does the money come from. Unlike with Bitcoin, where everything is perfectly traceable. So it used advanced cryptography like group signature. This is super advanced stuff. So they offer $500,000 for an initial working prototype. I don't really know what they mean by that, working prototype, and the remaining 125 if you complete the project. End of application is on September 16, and if you're accepted, you have 8 months to complete the project. I think this is wildly unrealistic. Monero uses advanced crypto, and some of the best cryptographers in the world are involved in this project. I highly doubt someone or even teams can crack Monero in 8 months or ever. So, I mean, we'll see. And even if someone crack Monero, the team of Monero will probably find a fix, will patch the code, so the IRS would have basically financed a security audit for Monero, and they are back to square one. Thank you, the IRS. I'm not sure if it's what they wanted, but the blockchain industry is very grateful for your contribution. So on a more personal note, I started my career in the blockchain industry with Monero. It was a very rough introduction to the blockchain. Working with Monero was super difficult. Actually, I wasn't sure if I was a good fit for blockchain. And then I found out about Ethereum, and I was like, oh, great. Oh, I can use all my web development skills, and I can do some Solidity. So yeah, just bring back some interesting memory. So next news, Etherscan is launching a yield farming page. So it seems not ready yet. It's supposed to see us the best opportunity for yield farming. And that's similar to yieldfarming.info. That's something I showed you a few weeks ago, and that also seems not very up to date. But I believe that Etherscan has more resources, so probably it's going to get better in the next few days. So let's keep an eye on this. Next piece of news. So now let's go in the role of NFT, because we talk a lot about DeFi, but NFT has also a lot of potential. And I think one of the next big thing is DeFi for NFT. In the next few months might become a new thing. So here what's happening is that we have an exchange in Japan that's going to introduce some NFT for Minecraft. So that's really amazing, because Minecraft is one of the most popular game. So if players start to get some item in Minecraft and store them on the blockchain, it's going to give a lot of one more extra use case for Ethereum. So this brings another problem, because I can see like a really high volume of usage for that. So the Ethereum blockchain is already clogged, and so it's not going to work to do like some microtransaction if the transaction fee is like $5 or $10. So typically that's something that could work in a layer 2 solution. So let's keep an eye for this. But yeah, I believe DeFi for NFT is coming fast. So next, I'm going to the news for developers. So now GitHub, on GitHub, Solidity became a first-class citizen. So we have syntax highlighting. So now when you check out some Solidity code on GitHub, you can see all the colors. Before it was all black. So yeah, that's cool. That shows that Solidity and blockchain are growing. Sweet stuff. Next, there was a new release of the Open Zeppelin frameworks, which is one of the most popular framework for Solidity. So in this new release, the main upgrade, the main update is that they introduce a proxy contract. So previously, it was in a tool called the Open Zeppelin SDK. But to make proxy more visible, they decided to move it to the Open Zeppelin library. So Open Zeppelin library and SDK, this is two different things. So this is very useful to do smart contract upgrades. And so I think more people are going to check it out since now it's more accessible. And next, news for developers. So there is a new release of Truffle, which is the main framework for developing Solidity smart contract. So it's a very useful update for the debugger, because the debugger will now, at the end of a failing transaction, it will print out the place in the code where the error occurred. So that's always very difficult to debug a Solidity smart contract. You never know what's wrong. You always have to comment and comment to try to need to do some investigation to find out exactly what's the line that is causing problem. So this is going to be a very useful update. All right. So now, amigos, it's time for the Q&A. So let me repost quickly to link to my course if you want to become a blockchain developer or do profitable flash loans. So let me scroll up and check out all the questions. Yeah, I have a lot of participation in the chat today. Chloe, Coolman Dude, Kuma, Crypto Balrog. Wow, okay. So let me take it from the beginning. Hey, I love the channel. Can I pay you to fix my smart contract after the stream? Yeah, you can send me an email at julian@eattheblocks.com. I put it in the chat. You can send me your request. High on Ivy because the well wanted to withdraw. Yeah, it's probably the case, Chloe. So is liquidity the same as total supply of a token? Kuma is asking. So no, the liquidity of an exchange is how many of the underlying token is inside the contract. So for example, if this is a smart contract to sell, I don't know, DAI, then if you have 1,000 DAI in the contract, the liquidity is 1,000 DAI. But the total supply of DAI is the total amount of DAI token on the Ethereum blockchain. So it's much more than what is just on the exchange. So for DAI, for example, you can have a total supply of maybe, I don't know how many DAI in circulation, maybe hundreds of millions, but on Uniswap, maybe you only have 10 or 20 million. So liquidity of an exchange is different than the total supply of a token. But this is a very good question. All right. The crypto barracks. Yeah, I'm Sushi Vampire, only in crypto. Yeah, man, this is so crazy. Oh, we have Pickles. Oh, man. All right. Yearn is crazy. Every few days, a new product. Yeah, no audit superstar though, Andre. Yeah, I mean, huge pressure on this guy. I mean, I don't know how he can handle the pressure. Like I said before, I really hope he gets some friend, like some team, because yeah, I mean, there is so much money in crypto. Like, why do you want to stay alone? Like, you need to collaborate with other people. It's not fun to stay alone. Let me see. Government hates privacy. Yeah, so like, I mean, so I think you are referring to when I was Crypto Balrog. I think you are referring when I was talking of the IRS bounty for Monero. So, I mean, their justification for cracking Monero is that it was used by some ransomware and some thugs, so they have to crack it. Yeah, I mean, they always take this angle, but I mean, how about real money? Real money is also used by thugs, and they haven't banned real money, so it's always hard to be 100% to agree 100% with them. NFT, yeah, Minecraft is my favorite game. Thanks like this, say that. Yeah, okay. Oh man, I want to try Minecraft. I don't have time, but it seems really fun. But I'm always super scared of video games because I'm afraid if I start, that's the end. Like, this is so addictive. So yeah, I mean, I'm controlling myself, but I hope in another life, I wish we have like one life to make money and another life to play video games. That'll be great. Let me see any question after that. Okay, Neeraj is asking, could you please explain slippage, mid price, and execution price in general and Uniswap term? Okay. So slippage, that means that when you are buying a very large amount of when you're doing a big trade on an exchange, you don't really get the best rate. So let's say you want to buy for 1 million of I don't know, sushi token, and you see that the price to buy is maybe $10. So 1 million times $10, you are supposed to pay 10 million for that. But the thing is, if you buy for a really large amount, you are going to consume a lot of liquidity in Uniswap. So what you're going to actually end up paying is not at the best price, but it's going to be worse than that. So instead of paying 10 million, you might pay 11 million, 12 million, etc. And the more you buy, the higher the slippage. So that's why when people want to buy a lot of anything, they try to cut down their order into smaller pieces so that they don't have a lot of slippage and the market can recover, the price can come back, and then the average price is better. Execution price. So execution price, is the average price that you end up paying. So if you are quoted, if the best price, like I said, for Sushiswap for sushi token is $10, maybe your execution price, if you have a lot of slippage, your execution price is going to be higher, maybe 11 or $12 actually. Mid price, that's the average between the bid and the ask. So bid is the price where people are willing to pay if you want to sell. So for example, if you want to sell your sushi token, maybe people are willing to pay you $9, and if you want to buy the token, people are willing to sell it to you for $11. So bid at 9, ask at 11, and so the average, the mid price is $10. So that's a theoretical price that you will never get, basically. So yeah, I think that's it for your question, Neeraj. But these are not specific to Uniswap. You will find this term for any trading environment. CoinDelta ask what is NFT. I think NFT means non-fungible tokens. That's basically a token that represent a unique item. So for example, a character in a game or some item in a game, or can be some piece of art, anything that is unique. The contrary of this is a fungible a fungible token. So for example, something that represents a share of the company is something fungible. Huaming saying, hey Julian, thanks for all this amazing content. Oh, thank you, Huaming, I really appreciate it. So Crypto is asking, thought on BDAO chain and all the partnership. I never heard of this project. Chloe, thanks for the amazing content. Yeah, thanks Chloe. Yeah, Crypto Balrog saying this also. Yeah, thanks Crypto Balrog. Alright, well, I think that we are pretty much done for the questions. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming. And this week I'll try to release a great video later this week. If I have enough time to finish it, I want to release a video to show you how to fork a DeFi project. So we'll see if I have enough time, but I'm super excited about this. So stay tuned, because this week's gonna be super cool on my channel. I have Last question by a spoonful of knowledge. Give us some more of your background for us learning to you. Can we just use your course for knowledge and not worrying about 100K job? Yeah, I mean, the whole point of my course, Six-Figure Blockchain Developer, is that anybody can take it, start from zero. There is an extra module on web development, so even if you don't know anything, you learn everything from scratch, and you follow the curriculum, and at the end, you build an awesome project, a decentralized exchange so basically a big DeFi project. And with this, that's going to help you a lot because you're going to have this huge asset in your portfolio. So that's going to help you to find your first blockchain job. And of course, that's the goal, is to find really nice, highly paid blockchain job, remote everything. And of course, when you take the course, you have access to me to really fine tune your portfolio, your CV. It's basically, if you can do this on your own without the course, but the course is a shortcut. It can save you basically 6 months or even more of trying to figure out everything by yourself. That's how I see it. Neeraj say, can I ask one more question? Yeah, please. Neeraj, how good are a perspective for starting a new exchange platform by December 2020? Well, I mean, that's a very specific question. Just in general, DeFi is an amazing playground for building new stuff. If a guy like Sushiswap can attract like so much liquidity in such a short time, like I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. Just make sure that you bring something new to the table. But what's great in DeFi is that people are really willing to experiment, and we don't have much regulation. So for builders, DeFi is amazing. If any other kind of industry, you have way more regulation. So I mean, take advantage of this. Who knows how long it's going to last? If you want to build something, just do it. Don't ask for anybody permission. All right. Chloe say, I need to cut this video and put those trading explanations somewhere. Well explained. Yeah, I mean, maybe I should do a video about this. Yeah, that's a good idea. What else? Aspoon said, what else can I use it? I think you're talking about my course, Six-Figure Blockchain Developer. What else can I use it for other than a job? Ideas for an entrepreneur. Of course. I mean, once you have this skill of, how to be a blockchain developer, basically the 3 ways to monetize it is first to have blockchain job, second to do your blockchain project, and 3 to do how would I call this, programmatic trading in DeFi. So everything about a flash loan, liquidation, arbitrage. That's also another thing that people don't think about usually when they learn blockchain programming, but that's also interesting. But that's also very, very valuable to build your own blockchain project, and you have to code the first prototype yourself, because if you want to hire some developers from the very beginning, you won't have any investor to finance your prototype. You need to do it yourself, and if you can't do it yourself, you're gonna need to pay 10, 20K to some developer. So instead of spending all this money, just learn to code yourself, and you can do it. You do a prototype, then you try to get some traction, you get some investors, and then you can hire some developers, and progressively you can become more of a manager. But to really bootstrap the project, that can be very useful to have this coding skill. How much investment should be okay to start a DeFi project and market it? I mean, at first there is no investment. It's just it's basically I mean, you just have an idea, and let's say you have a job, and on the side you start to code your project, so it doesn't do any income, but maybe you work like 20 hours a week, something like this, and then you participate to some blockchain hackathon, and then you get some attention, and maybe you get some initial funding of like 20, 30K, and with this you can maybe quit your job for 6 months. So now you use this initial funding to pay yourself, and you get some traction, and when you run out of money, hopefully you get another round of investment, but you don't necessarily need to spend a lot of your own money. If you can keep a day job at the same time, that's safer. So I mean, really, you can start with nothing, I would say. And also like, there is a lot of organic growth in DeFi. So you don't necessarily need to do a lot of advertisement or stuff like this. Take me for example. So I'm working full time as a YouTuber. I sell my blockchain courses, and I don't do any advertisement. Everything comes from YouTube. Everything is organic. So like advertisement these days, it's not really necessary. Like until you grow to a certain size, you don't really need it. Like when you are bootstrapping, everything is mostly word of mouth. Is you talking to people, being useful, being on Twitter, and people start to notice you. They start to help you. That's how you should do it. Crypto Baroque saying, I always have my coffee for this session. Good. Black coffee. Chloe, what is Chloe saying? So you can make a dApp that just does NFT sales and get paid commission without even owning the NFT. Oh, interesting. And then Condata said, then Lambo. Yeah, that's why we're here. We want the Lambo. Yeah. Okay. Chloe, you should do your own NFT course. Yes, I agree. So I think, guys, we're gonna wrap up here because I don't think there is any other question. But a spoon of knowledge. So, what is your life story? Oh, okay. Well, so quickly, last question. So my life story. So good question. Yash, are the question limited to DeFi? No. So my life story. So basically, I have a background as an engineer, and I started my career in finance. I was working in Hong Kong in investment banking, and I work as a broker. That was great. That was fun. That was like in the Wolf of Wall Street. People making a lot of money. Very arrogant people. It's really cliche. These guys are really crazy. I remember I used to work with this guy. He was like 30 years old, and he was making already like $1 million a year. I mean, really the cliche of the finance guy. So that was fun, but I felt like these guys were dinosaurs. I felt like this industry was about to be eaten alive by programmers, really. And I also didn't like how they were so obsessed with money all the time. I mean, it's cool to make money, but I mean, there are also other things. But like what they talk about all the time, like money. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I want to do something else with my life. And so then I moved here to Taiwan, and completely by chance, I met some guys who were programmers and who were digital nomads, and I thought that their lifestyle was like pretty cool. So I started to learn programming, JavaScript, PHP, WordPress, and I started to have my first customers. So I became a freelance developer. And then in 2016, I read about blockchain and Ethereum, and then I became addicted right away. And from there, I became specialized in blockchain, and then my life got better. I started this YouTube channel, and progressively I stopped my activity of a freelance developer to become a full-time YouTuber. And so here I am. But what's great when you're a developer is like you can do so many things. That's really great. That was the most life-changing event of my life, was to learn coding, clearly. Shay, you have the best content. Cheers. Oh, thanks, guy. Really appreciate. Alright, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up for real now. But I mean, that's great. I like to hang out with you and answer all the questions. I prefer more questions than less questions. That's for sure. So yeah, guys, I'll see you soon on my channel this week. See ya. Bye, everybody.